In 2003, Boston moved their highway underground. What we would pay our teachers if we paid them what we paid babysitters. Okay, fine. We'll take the babysitter rate. $10 per kid times 6.5 hours per day equals $65. Times 28 kids per class equals $1,820. Times 180 school days equals $327,600. Sounds great. A town especially built for people with dementia. A Dewey is a secured village in the Netherlands specifically for people with dementia, where they can act out a normal life, while being monitored and assisted by caretakers in disguise. Each UK Prime Minister, since 2010 have had their own personal lectern designed. Saudi Arabia just began construction of its $500 billion 500 meter tall 170 kilometers long megacity, the Line in Neom. Welsh Royal Guard falling down due to the extreme heat, none of the others rescued him. To not break their rules. 1957. Ad for a 4-bedroom home in 1958. Value, beauty, and charm. 4 bedrooms, 2 baths. $11,990, $87 a month. Otto Warmbier was an American college student who was imprisoned in North Korea in 2016 on a charge of subversion. In June 2017, he was released by North Korea in a vegetative state and died soon afterward. His family was awarded $240,000 in seized North Korean assets. The Cistercian monks invented a numbering system in the 13th century, which meant that any number from 1 to 9,999 could be written using a single symbol. A whale skeleton in the middle of a rainforest in Osa Peninsula, Costa Rica. Detailed instructions on how to kiss a girl from 1911. Do you know how to kiss a girl? Then learn. Stand facing her. Do not tell her your intentions. Do not ask permission to kiss her. Look dreamily into her eyes. You may hold her right hand in your right hand, if you wish. It is well to sigh a couple of times about this stage of the game. Whisper softly that her rosebud lips remind you of Cupid's bow. She will probably drop her eyes and blush when you say that. Place the lingers of your left hand under her chin and tilt back her head slightly. Draw her gently towards you. Do not hurry. Gaze deeply at the love lights which slumber in her eyes. Sigh once more. Incline your head towards hers until your lips, but wait. Do not kiss her until you know that she uses Lister-rated pepsin gum, the only antiseptic gum in the world, the only chewing gum that makes it safe to kiss. Paths of 800 unmanned bicycles being pushed until they fall over. 500 million people in India may not have drinking water by 2030. Cell in San Quentin State Prison, California. The longest living person was born in 1875 and lived until 1997. This means she watched as cars went from picture number 1 to picture number 2. An Indian ascetic wearing an iron collar around his neck so that he can never lie down. 1870s. Open roof living room in a traditional villa in Saudi Arabia. What it was like job hunting in the 1930s. I know 3 trades. I speak 3 languages. Fought for 3 years. Have 3 children. And no work for 3 months. But I only want 1 job. Bernie Sanders being arrested in Chicago for protesting segregation in 1963. He was charged with resisting arrest and fined $25. 1665 London belts. In 1994, American teen Michael Fay was charged with more than 50 counts of vandalism in Singapore and sentenced to 6 strokes from a 4-foot-long, 6-inch-wide rattan cane. The number of strokes was reduced from 6 to 4 after President Clinton wrote to Singapore's Prime Minister for leniency. The unfinished sculpture of Lakota warrior Crazy Horse. Construction was started in 1948 and the best estimate for completing works, including the body and the horse he will be riding, is 2037. You get more pizza in 1/18 inches than you do into 12-inch pizzas. Area equals pi times 18 over 2 squared equals 254 square inches. Area equals 2 times pi times 12 over 2 squared equals 226 square inches. In South Korea, the solar panels in the middle of the highway have a bicycle path underneath. Cyclists are protected from the sun, isolated from traffic, and the country can produce clean energy. There is a lake in Finland that looks like Finland. A 1950s magazine ad shows a tip on how to dispose of batteries. Burn old flashlight batteries in the fireplace now and then. The burning zinc may help prevent soot formation, and the metals and chemicals make colorful flames. South African spear fisherman Jojo van Niekerk, in September 1989, bearing a recent wound from a great white bite. It was a 1 in a million freak accident, he told reporters. Just 2 months later, diving Melkbestrand, van Niekerk disappeared, and a few days after his shark-bitten leg washed ashore. Local medical center is sending video ads through the mail. It uses a cheap tablet. I just learned that the Windows wallpaper isn't computer-generated imagery, but an actual photo. A crowded beach in Atlantic City, New Jersey, United States, 1908. This is how the world's tallest woman, 7 feet 0.7 inches, took her first flight. Turkish Airlines replaced 6 seats from its economy section with a special stretcher for her to travel on the 13-hour flight to the United States. Germany now has the first fully hydrogen-powered passenger rail service. The trains operate with low noise and the only emissions are steam and condensed water. This is Jeffrey Epstein's ex-pilot Larry Vysotsky. He flew the Lolita Express and testified at the trial of Ghislaine Maxwell. Prior to becoming a country act, Kid Rock presented himself as a rapper from Detroit. I never knew that ages vary in different states. Age of consent in the United States. The son of a Palestinian woman who was infected with COVID-19 climbed up to her hospital room to sit and see his mother every night until she passed away. The Empire State Building ablaze after a B-25 bomber crashed into it in thick fog over New York City on July 28, 1945. First the man takes the drink, then the drink takes the man. Sculpture created based on an old Irish saying. It took 11 years and over 500 people to build this city in Minecraft. The airport alone took 2.5 years. Position of the North Magnetic Pole since 1590. In 1996, Ukraine handed over nuclear weapons to Russia in exchange for a guarantee never to be threatened or invaded. Known as the most famous pistol in the history of art, this is a revolver that Van Gogh used to take his own life. It was auctioned for more than 160,000 euros in Paris. Did you know? Truth inside of you. Billy Joel never sells tickets to the front rows of his concerts. Aside from wanting to beat the scalpers, he got tired of all the bored, rich people staring up at him, so now he sends his road crew out to bring down the fans from the worst seats, so there'll be people in the front row that are really happy to be there, real fans. This X-ray of a 16-month-old boy. These images were made using phone apps to show how much beauty standards trends have changed over the years. A prison in Otago, New Zealand. The amount that was paid to the performers at Woodstock. The playground children had in the early 1900s. Penguins' egg whites actually stay clear when boiled. Li Jingzi, a Chinese woman, was reunited with her son who was kidnapped in 1988. She spent more than 32 years traveling through 20 provinces and hundreds of towns looking for him. During her quest, she helped reunite 29 children with their families. Christian Bale based his character from the movie American Psycho off a Tom Cruise interview on Letterman. In the movie American Psycho, Christian Bale based the main character on a Letterman interview featuring Tom Cruise in 1999. When asked about the inspiration behind Patrick Bateman, he replied, "Tom Cruise on David Letterman had this very intense friendliness with nothing behind the eyes." Authentic English blue Stilton cheese, an ancient variety, produced since the mid-1700s, has a very interesting side effect. The specific strain of Penicillium mold that gives it its distinctive flavor and color is mildly psychoactive to about 70% of people. Eating about 50 grams, 2 ounces, approximate 30 minutes before bedtime, preferably on an empty stomach, often produces vivid, colorful and very strange dreams which, unlike normal dreams, can usually be remembered in great detail. This unique property has earned it the nickname among connoisseurs of the dream cheese. Sikh man. Orange farm in Israel. A gorilla's bite force is one of the strongest in the animal kingdom. The bite force of a gorilla is about 1,300 pounds per square inch, which is way higher than a lion's at 650 pounds per square inch. Woman attempts to get a reaction from a royal guard in Stockholm, Sweden in the 1970s. In case your family can't agree which way to hang the toilet paper roll, the original patent from 1891 for a toilet paper roll shows the correct rolling direction, in case you ever doubted. The loudest sound in history was made by the Krakatoa eruption on August 27, 1883. It is estimated to have been 310 decibels. It could be heard from 4,800 kilometers away. The sound waves circled the Earth 7 times and is estimated to have killed at least 36,417 people. Where the Great Wall of China meets the sea. Literally never thought about this. In my head I always thought that they just stayed clear of brush. 1860. Today. Italian magazine from 1962 predicts what the world will look like in 2022. Found on Twitter. Many historical and religious places in Nepal have these signs to protect from TikTokers. No TikTok. No video. How to turn your pants into a flotation device. 1. Take off your pants and tie the legs together in a tight square knot. Zip and button pants closed. 2. Hold the waist of the pants open above the waterline. 3. Swing the pants over your head like a net to catch as much air as possible. 4. Pull your head between the inflated legs, keeping the waist closed and below water. If the pants dry, they'll start leaking air. 5. Keep the pants wet by splashing them with water. 6. If you know you're going overboard, tie and wet your pants before you jump ship, swinging them through the air as you jump. Age 15 versus 25. My art progress. This back cabin floats above the Norwegian landscape. Amazing tax number from Australia. A photorealistic image of George Washington, showing how he would look if he was alive today. Sister Mary Keller, the first woman to earn a doctorate in computer science in the United States, 1965. This is a email by Steve Jobs to himself. I grow little of the food I eat, and of the little I do grow I did not breed or perfect the seeds. I do not make any of my own clothing. I speak a language I did not invent or refine. I did not discover the mathematics I use. I'm protected by freedoms and laws I did not conceive of or legislate, and do not enforce or adjudicate. I'm moved by music I did not create myself. When I needed medical attention, I was helpless to help myself survive. I did not invent the transistor, the microprocessor, object-oriented programming, or most of the technology I work with. I love and admire my species, living and dead, and I'm totally dependent on them for my life and well-being. Sent from my iPad. Tennis court in Dubai, 2005. Incidents that Chinese sailors were in North America 2,000 years ago. The Osage Indians were once the richest per capita people in the world due to oil reserves on their land. Congress then passed a law requiring court-appointed guardians to manage their wealth. Over 60 Osage were murdered from 1921 to 1925. Their land rights passed to the guardian. I found this interesting as an Australian. Is this common knowledge in the US? I can't believe I've gone my entire life not realizing the major interstates are in numerical order. A liberated Jewish holds an East guard at gunpoint, 1945. County-wise life expectancy in USA, source GHDX. Life expectancy in America. Average age at death. 66.8. 86.8. I was cleaning out my garage today and came across a 72-hour kit my mom assembled for me in 1990. The chocolate-covered cookie still looks pretty good. This is kinda ingenious. Before. The doors of the C-17 corrosion control hangar at Hickam Air Force Base were made to be fitted around the large aft of a Globemaster III. Hop fiber wall. Stayed for 4 hours under heat of 360 degrees and barely burned. Hop walls are soundproof and act as an insulating layer. This gravity-defying statue. Any information on the artist or location would be greatly appreciated. A dad from Melbourne, Australia demonstrates his skills to his little girl, 1940. 7 inches long model cucumber from ancient Egypt in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, estimated to be from 1850 to 1700 BC. Look on North Hollywood bank robber's face after finally being arrested after 45-minute gunfight. At age 93, actor James Hong has gained more than 650 film and television credits since entering Hollywood 68 years ago. In his early days, he starred with Hollywood legends Clark Gable and Rock Hudson, and of one his most recent works was Turning Red. This man has seen cinema evolve immensely. Burger King dressed up as McDonald's for Halloween in 2016. Mercy dogs were specially trained to sniff out the wounded and bring them first aid on the battlefields of World War I. They would often find an injured soldier, bring a piece of their uniform to command, then lead a combat medic to help. And when a soldier was beyond saving, Mercy dogs would lay down next to him, so he didn't have to die alone. Madeleine McCann's female abductor sketch in 2007 looks weirdly similar to Ghislaine Maxwell. April 29, 1992. Riots and arson erupt after a jury acquits LAPD officers if charges in the beating of Rodney King. This is how tall Kevin Hart is compared to Shaq and Yao Ming. What these celebrities would look like as the opposite sex. AI. NASA photo showing the Rosette Nebula. A gallery owner was arrested after leaving a 10-foot heroin spoon sculpture outside OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma. Family who refused to leave home in Denbighshire, Wales has lived in the middle of a roundabout for 40 years. Huaxi Village, the richest village in China. Stan Larkin lived for 555 days without a heart. He wore an artificial heart in a backpack 24/7 for 555 days, which pumped blood around his body and kept him alive. He has received a full heart transplant after getting a donor. Today I learned disgruntled is the opposite of gruntled. I'm so gruntled I found out about this. Gruntled. Adjective. 1. Satisfied. Pleased. Contented. Amazon putting ads in fortune cookies. Sphinx before and after excavation. Dubai Miracle Garden, the world's largest natural flower garden, is home to over 150 million flowers in full bloom. Before alarm clocks were invented, you could hire a knocker up to fire a pea at your window in the morning. London, 19th century. Advertisement for assisted seaside in Switzerland. It says you decide at the end. Just register.